Ultra-processed foods are everywhere. Their convenience and cost are just appealing to most consumers.
That's right, but health experts say that long list of ingredients should make you think twice. Marty Salt explains how you can identify ultra-processed foods while shopping.
We're eating more processed foods. We're getting away from vegetables and fruits.
Ultra-processed foods are designed to be easy to eat, tasty, and have a longer shelf life. But doctors say they're not good for your health.
We really are talking about avoiding things that are the ultra-processed stuff in the middle of the store. So the cookies, the chips, the stuff that comes in a box.
One way to tell easily, there's usually a long list of ingredients, many you've likely never heard of. If the list includes things you wouldn't use in your own kitchen, you'll know it's ultra-processed.
When you're able to prepare meals at home, whenever possible, so we know that when you prepare meals yourself, you know exactly what goes in it.
The Washington Post lists some other red flags of processed foods. Look for added sweeteners like corn syrup and cane sugar, artificial sweeteners like aspartame, ingredients that end with "-ose", such as fructose or glucose, and foods that are instant or available in many flavors. Leaving these unhealthy, ultra-processed products on the shelf means more room in your cart for the foods that benefit your body. Marty Salt, WGEM News.